Of new inclusions.
Yep, 5 changes to the side that went down to Werribee by a point 2 weeks ago. We'll keep you abreast of those later on as we get underway with a recalled bounce. Tom Downey back into the side after a dominant performance in round 1 against Frankston, against Crosley, who's a terrific ruckman in his own right. Dawson first touch. Downey will get the clearance though. Into the path of Gadsby. Ooh. Solid contact from Sexton. That's Will. Jack Sexton not out there today. Greiser gathers to Collier Dawkins, one of the new recruits this year for Williamstown. His kick though, not quite intercepted. Coleman working hard on the ground, can't burrow it out. Now the ball's lodged in between a few players and we'll toss it up.
Yeah, Riley Collier Dawkins, of course, coming across from the Richmond VFL side where he was a regular fixture last couple of years. Downey, as you mentioned, Michael, late withdrawal for that Good Friday clash a couple of weeks ago. Kick inside the 50, spoiled away there from Ellison. And we'll have a throw in. Good defensive play there by Matt McGuinness. As we said, Sharks have had no luck with injury. Jack Sexton out with a shoulder, out for 6 weeks. Max Pescott, Reece Clark, Wiley Buzzer not involved today due to injury. And, of course, Jay Lockhart suspended. Tapped down by Downey. Smothered off the boot there of Fordham. Another one of the recruits this year for the Seagulls. Eventually, Woodcock gets a hand pass out. He's been a big ball winner this year, as he has been for the last couple of years. The kick out of defence has been chopped up. Riley Stoddart takes the mark about 55 out from home. It's a congested forward line here for the Seagulls. He's got Gadsby short if he wants him. Elects to go longer. Pops it up into the pocket. They converge from all directions. Brown tries to barge his way through the contest. He's taken the ground and will have a ball up deep in the forward pocket for Williamstown.
Yep, Jack Brown, the other inclusion to this Williamstown side, not to be confused with Josh Brown, who's in number 12. Socket across goal. McGuinness there. And Jepson won Coburg's best and fairest last year before making the move up north. Got it to Dawson. Shannon. And Dawson will get another touch in this chain. So Southport looking to play it out by hand. Now they look a bit more centrally. Not much on in the middle of the ground though, so they're going to go across the ground to Crosley. He looks to go towards half forward. Banks Smith has been working really hard. Gets it on the bounce. Not a lot to go to inside 50. Top of the square ball. Sets up and, well, a couple of teammates spoiled each other in the end. Menteet, one of those. And now the ball in congestion. Williamstown getting back in numbers. Collier Dawkins farmed it out to no one in particular. Banks Smith, another touch for him. Crosley off a standing start. Bonner just missed it in flight, and we've got a whistle, but it's going to be Williamstown ball. Free kick will go to Aidan Bonner.
Of course, came across from North Melbourne. Get the feeling Jackson Edwards was getting excited as he ran into the open goal, but of course it was called back. Fordham at right half back for the Seagulls. Been prominent early. Kick out wide. Toner, who was a hero a couple of weeks ago, kicking the goal after the siren against Coburg at Highgate Recreation Reserve. It was a weird ending to the game, I've got to say as well. Rich into the middle of the ground. This is Greiser. Kick to centre half forward is very disciplined in the air. Downey will chip it short. They've got a plethora of options. One of them's Ebinger, who takes the mark 43 metres out from goal.
Yeah, but not even a thought of passing this one off for Ebinger. He knows he's within his range here. And he's been a goal kicker early on in the season. He'll like his chances here. 3 goals a couple of weeks ago.
He's kicking from a 45-degree angle. Be right behind it as well. Not too much of a breeze here today. There's always a little bit of a gentle breeze at the very least at Point Gillibrand. Can he negotiate the conditions here? Ebinger tries to work it back from right to left. Has it got the carry? It has! First blood to the Seagulls. It's snuck in by the barest of margins, but it's home. And Ebinger kicks the first of the game.
It's 5 goals, 1 now for the season for Ebinger, and we talk about it so much, but it's such a unique home ground advantage for Williamstown here at DSV Stadium. First of all, they get a pretty good crowd in every week, and today's no exception, but the conditions, they train here, they know how to play them, they know how to play the wind, and you saw there the local knowledge from Ebinger as he just brought it back and let the wind do the rest.
This is the thing, visibly, according to the trees, there's not much, is there? But there's clearly a bit of a breeze coming from the sea, and that's what he used to carry that ball from right to left.
So first goal to the Gulls, just about 5 minutes in. And we'll get a second centre bounce for this fascinating ruck contest today between Crosley and Downey. Two of the very best in the comp.
Ooh.
Neither really got a hand on it. Awkward landing for Downey, but he looks okay. Towners with the clearance anyway through Triffett. High ball. Plenty of players are going to get underneath it. Big fist comes from Spencer. Toner, who, as you mentioned, Damien, was the hero last week, but unable to escape on this occasion.
How do you think both sides will come out of the bye to a degree? Because it's still relatively early in the season.
It certainly is, and Southport did have a few players play in that state representative game last week. Of course, the Sandful defeating the Smithies VFL in that one. If you think of Crosley, Woodcock, and Dawson in particular featured in that one. Not as much Williamstown representation in that game, so be interesting to see how both sides respond to that little layoff. Only a couple of games into the season. Toner overran it. Chance for the Sharks to escape defensive 50, but they're under pressure. Eventually, they're able to get Boots a ball, and it's a high one, but cut off by Fitzgerald. Came fifth in Essendon's BNF last year. That's not his best effort, though, by foot. It's cut off.
So it's on centre wing. What can the Sharks muster here? Foot on the right foot. Kicks it long inside the 50. Going back with the flight. That's a courageous mark taken by O'Dwyer. Was very good a couple of weeks ago. He's had a good start to the season. So the Seagulls could traverse through the corridor. Stoddart into the middle of the ground. Here's Toner. Open 50 beckons. Toner looks on the outside of the foot. Clever, delicate kick over the head of Ellison. Trying to claim the mark there with Spencer. Nothing doing for the umpire. He follows up with a good tackle. And we'll have a ball up deep in the forward line for the Seagulls. As that breeze starts to pick up a fraction here at DSV Stadium. All up once again. Downey probably lost out to Crosley in the end. Edwards, Woodcock. They combine well on the outer side. Not the best of kicks from Woodcock. It might work out okay, though. Bowman tries to pick the ball up. Joyce was an option, as was Woodcock. Kick down the line. Flying high for the mark there was Hugh Dixon. He'll probably be the secondary ruck for Southport today. O'Dwyer, kick partially smothered, and the Seagulls could work it through Polson.
That they will, but it's coming straight back. Edwards intercepts, and the kick fortuitously lands with Lake. Former Gold Coast man. He pops it short to foot. So the Sharks' first real chance to get a proper build-up into attack. We'll see what they do with it. Foot's kick carries. Big fly, but no mark from Keegan Gray. Williamstown forced to defend. Ebinger's worked a long way back, and he's not going anywhere. So a chance now for the Sharks to lock it inside their forward 50. Dixon in the ruck against Downey. Dixon also played in that state game last week. Polson with the clearance. Unable to handle it was Jovan Petric. And the pressure good from Williamstown, but maybe not on that occasion. The tackle slipped a little bit high, and it's going to be a chance for Sexton. That's Will. It's going to kick from about 53, with Petric standing at 49. Really have the journey. Looks like it's going to drop short. And there was a touch on it before it crossed the goal line. So first score of the day for the Sharks is a rush behind.
Bonner to bring it back in for the Seagulls. So we've gone almost 10 minutes. Not a heck of a lot of scoring so far. Lovely conditions aside from that breeze. It's pretty much blue skies here in Melbourne today. Bonner buys another 10 metres. Kicks to the outer side once again. Big spoil at the back coming there from Spencer. Been prominent in that area today. Kick inside 50. Mark was dropped there by Gray. Still an opportunity for Dixon. Good ball handling skills. Good evasion. Good dexterity. Tried to get the hand pass to Woodcock. Still a chance here for the Sharks. Brought to ground there was Gray again. And the umpire will eventually call for respite. So a good tackle there from Polson coming in late. One of the leaders in this Williamstown lineup.
Certainly is the skipper for a second season. Ball spills free. Woodcock somehow got a handball away, and the shot at goal comes from Gray. But it didn't have the journey. Southport doing some attacking. Dawson already up to 4 disposals. Collier Dawkins also has 4 for the goals, as Finn O'Dwyer Sends it back into play. Fist came from Triffett, who was caught behind. Now Williamstown able to clear. Fitzgerald. Off hands. Conway had it for a moment. Triffett again. Just sends it high indiscriminately, and working into good position to take the mark was Petrich. And he'll pop it off short, where the mark is taken in the pocket by Ellison.
Be an interesting kick once again, because the breeze will probably be at his back, but good play again from Williamstown on the transition. They caught the Southport defence napping, and there's a number of times so far in this game where they made the quick slingshot transition off half back, and there's been too much space inside the forward 50 for them. 3
goals in round 1 against Frankston, 1 goal against Coburg for Ellison. Not an easy kick at this ground. And he's made a decent fist of it, but just across the face.
So it'll be brought back in for the Sharks by Jepson. 2 behinds, 1-1 on the scoreboard here at the ground. So Jepson to bring it back into play. He's got a couple of options at centre half back. It's a little bit stagnant at the moment. Jepson will go short to Spencer. Been a good linkage player across half back. Spencer drives it long towards centre wing. Bonner was floating in from the back. He'll eventually get the hand pass here. He's got Fordham as an option and uses him. Fordham's confronted. Good tackling pressure from Lockett. Gives it back. Philpott chips the pass. No one really there for the Seagulls. Woodcock couldn't take it on the half volley. Ever just slaps it out. And we'll have a throw in, probably about 70 metres around for the Seagulls goal. That's always a tongue twister.
Yep.
So there'll be a throw in. As we said, a number of players out for Southport coming into this match due to injury. A good test of their depth against an informed Williamstown side. Thrown in, Downey wins it out of the ruck contest and kicks it around the body. Spencer with the spoil. Bit of a pinball machine there. Maybe taken high was Jepson, and he'll get the free kick from right half back.
Should mention first home game of the season for the Gulls as well. So they've gotten 2 valuable wins on the road, and conversely for the Sharks, this is their first away game of the season. They had Port Melbourne come up to Funkhausen in round 1. They beat them handily with a 46-point margin. That might be 50.
Yep.
And it will be. So Banks Smith is going to be brought to within a kick and a half from goal. He wants to move it quickly, but Williamstown always get back well in numbers and didn't really get much purchase on the kick. Dixon almost made it look good, but Williamstown clear, but not for long. Manteet drives it into the pocket. Lockett is all on his own, and he's got the mark despite the best efforts of Philpott.
Well held in the end, just remained composed. It was a good kick as well to advantage, and he found the space in the hole in the forward pocket. And they need to convert these sorts of opportunities, the Sharks, today. This is a good opportunity here, even though it's somewhat of an acute angle. Good test.
Goals to this end of the ground will be all important today, and Jai Lockett has the best chance yet.
One of the inclusions today in the Southport lineup.
So when he comes, playing his first game of the season, Jai Lockett, deliberate approach, and he sneaks it home.
So Southport with their first major. Good kick off the boot as well. There wasn't too much deviation, was there, off the boot? So maybe the stand protecting the sea breeze, which is coming from the outer side of the ground. And he steered it through very, very well. That'll do his confidence a world of good, as you said. First game of the season, and inclusion into the Southport lineup today, along with Matt McGuinness, the ex-Kangaroo, and Keegan Gray, who's had a couple of touches already, coming from Werribee. Will Derrington, who's a Suns Academy signing. Riley Bowman as well, one of the other inclusions for Southport today. So they gain the lead, 1-2 to 1-1 here. We've gone almost 15 minutes in the first quarter. Still pretty even in terms of territory. Maybe Williamstown have had more of the footy inside their forward half, but Southport taking their opportunity there to take the lead. Back in the middle, in the ruck now is Bowman. For the secondary ruck for Southport today. Fordham's kick inside the 50. Good mark taken on the second attempt there by Willis. He can repel here for the Sharks. Looks out wide, trying to find Bowman. Well weighted in the end, and he holds the mark. Bowman short. Looks for Banks Smith. Played the percentages and slaps it out of play on centre wing. Good conditions and also good surface here. You mentioned it's the first game of the season at DSV Stadium. Surface looking pretty pristine.
Yeah, one of the great grounds in the Smithies VFL.
One of the unique grounds.
Certainly is, and this Williamstown side knows how to use it. Fordham on all fours, as always, is going to get the free. Handy addition to this Williamstown midfield. Off to Toner, who wobbles it into attack. But Willis again standing tall in defence. He brings it out wide to Manteet. Has a couple of runners. One of those is McGuinness. Usually a good ball user. And he finds Sexton on this occasion, who wastes no time. Goes to the one-on-one. But reading it excellently in flight is Parks. New recruiters. The Seagulls look to replace Oscar McDonald and Marty Hall in that back line from last season, which was one of the very best in the comp. Of course, both of them received AFL opportunities, and in to replace them come Aidan Bonner and also Luke Parks.
Aim for the Blues, of course. Player's gone down by the play man. Teat, is he going to get a free kick here? He is. So indiscriminate off the play. Manteet might have to go back over his mark here. Woodcock was looking for the disposal option. As a runner with the hand pass. So Manteet's going to have to take it along the boundary line. Is he going to retreat or go into the corridor? Sticky about going laterally, but instead opts to go long down the line with a high kick. Just caught behind there was Bowman. Did well to affect the spoil. He got to the contest at the end. Fordham gets it out. Seagulls just have the numbers at the end. They can caress through the corridor here. Coleman takes the mark on the chest. Will chip it short. It's okay. Triffett. Still a long way out from home. Tries to go laterally to Petrich. It went over his head and tumbles out of play. So unforced error there. 1-2 to 1-1 in favour of the Sharks. We've got 17 minutes here at DSV Stadium. Hope you're enjoying the coverage on the AFL Live official app and on afl.com.au, where we bring you the Smithies VFL and the Rebel VFLW this season.
Good start for the Sharks. The inside 50 count is tied at 8. As the ball spills free, Philpott unable to handle it cleanly. And it's over the boundary line once again. Collier Dawkins, 5 touches. So too Downey and Fordham. Toner as well for the Sharks. Dawson, Foote, Jepson and Sexton all have 4.
Jepson, that linkage player deep in defence.
Yeah, plays that role so well. Was a standout for Coburg last year in that winless season for the Lions as the goals go inside 50. I think both players just lost it momentarily. McGuinness went to try and get it. Dawson extracting as always. And now they've got some run and dash off half-back here, the Sharks, through the corridor. Handball over the top, running himself into a little bit of trouble was Manteet. He'll get it back. And in fact, it was Heron. And now Banks Smith, who's been working really hard off half forward so far in this one, takes the mark in front of Paulson. Brings it inboard for Sexton. Goals have clogged up the corridor. So they're going to go around and affect the switch. This is Willis. McGuinness kept running. Long ball comes. It's a real floater, though. Might work out in the end. Dixon able to gather. Looks top of the square. Has options. Crosley, the big target. And he's got it. Too big, too strong. And Braden Crosley can go back and kick for the Sharks second.
Been playing as that deep forward, hasn't he, the last 5 to 10 minutes, giving Bowman a shot in the ruck. And I often say ruckmen are not the best kicks. This will be an interesting test.
Directly in front, only about 15, 20 outs. And he gets it there. Good start, Sharks.
Good kick, kept it low in terms of trajectory as well, Braden Crosley. Looks like, by the way he's motioning, he'll stay deep inside the forward line. Looks like he's probably going to dictate terms in that respect as to how long he'll stay there before he goes back into the ruck. We know how much of a workhorse he is. He works so hard in the ruck, covers a lot of territory, can go forward just as a flexible option. And as we saw there, he's capable in front of goal as well. So the Sharks with the early running here, 2-2 to 1-1. Just in the last 5 to 10 minutes, they've probably wrested territorial control back, although they've probably held up the Seagulls to a degree in their transition. The Sharks had to be patient there because I think the game had gone into a more defensive state in the last 5 to 10 minutes, where the Seagulls also clogged up the corridor. Back in the middle. Downey wins it against Bowman. With comprehension. Here's Dawson. Gives it off to Woodcock. He's stripped to the footy. And the umpire says holding the ball, illegal disposal. So a big chance here for the Seagulls to answer. Here's Brown. Rockets a hand pass to Collier Dawkins. Waltzes his way around. 52 metres out. Set sail for home. Set sail for home. Misses to the left. Only a minor score. 1-2 to 2-2. Looking promising from just beyond the arc. Riley Collier Dawkins. And will be brought back into play by Manteek for the Sharks.
And he's going to go long right up the guts. Crosley the target. Dixon crashed the pack hard, and Dawson just scrambles it forward. The foot race is on. Foot's quick. So too is Paulson, though. They get to it at the same time, and Foot lost his footing. And the Gulls will come away with it, but a little fumble from Greiser could be dangerous. Gets it back to Paulson. Conway tight-roping the boundary line here, the Gulls, and out of bounds. A good result in the end.
Good tackle from Heron there. He's wearing the pink boots. Good addition.
Yep.
He'll be an interesting player today as well. He's been pretty good so far this season.
Yep, the one-time son. As ball is tossed in. Crosley back into the ruck against Downey. Williamstown with numbers at the fall of this ball. Rich back with the goals this season. Free kick off the ball is going to go Rich's way. And
Crosley's receiving a bit of attention, isn't he?
Yep, fair size differential between those two.
And a 50-metre penalty, is it as well?
Yep. The contact came after Rich disposed of the footy. So it's going to be brought to quite possibly within scoring range. There has been a goal sneak over the course of his long state league career, Corey Rich.
We saw Collier Dawkins kick it very comfortably from beyond the arc. This is from a set shot situation, but he fancies himself here.
Has 1 goal, 2 since coming back to the Seagulls. Corey Rich spent last year playing for Old Haileybury. Now he's back in the Smithies VFL, and from right on the paint, it's going to be well across the face. Coleman trying to keep it alive, but can't quite do so.
Probably a decent result in the end, the fact that they're going to get boundary throw in deep in the forward pocket. So we go on 22 and a half minutes of this first term. Sharks lead it by a straight kick. Seagulls have it deep in their forward zone. Throw in. Crosley palms it down. Ebinger almost deflected off his foot. Kick around the body there from Dawson has gone well out of play. So an opportunity here for the Seagulls. It's within kicking distance as well. It looks like Philpott will be the recipient here. Very tight angle. Still has to judge the wind, particularly at this end of the ground. So Max Philpott. Will he go with the check side or with the conventional drop punt? He'll eventually waltz around, goes with the drop punt, tries to swing it back and swings it back successfully. Great kick from Philpott. And the answering goal for the Seagulls is on the board. They equalise. It's 2-2-14 apiece, and that's a team lifter from an acute angle.
Certainly is. Philpott, not one to kick a lot of goals, of course, defender by trade, so he'll relish that one. Looks like he's going to spend a little bit of time on a wing now. 16 disposals for him last week.
Pretty versatile, isn't he? He can play in various areas of the ground, and he's got enough height to compete aerially as well, and just finds himself at the right spots also.
Yeah, been around for 2 or 3 years now, Philpott, so starting to come into his own as a Seagull. As we're back in the middle, even start to this one. Late stages, opening term. Thank you for your company on AFL.com.au and the AFL Live official app. Crosley stayed down and got a hand to it. But they're going to get the clearance here. Heron, shaky-looking handball is intercepted. Brown. Back to O'Dwyer. And that's a beautiful sizzling ball for Rich.
Been good the last few minutes, hasn't he? He's been prominent across half forward.
Drives it into attack. No one really there. Hall, the only one home. He's grabbed in the tackle. Coleman can't create anything at the moment. Brown might just do so, though, and that's 2 in a minute for the goals.
Lovely play. They rightfully get around him as well with a lovely run-on situation there from 30 metres out. Was steaming in, and that's just the weight of pressure. The transition again from Rich, who's been very good across that half-forward line in the last 5 to 10 minutes as an option. And that's the second time, really, not only have they kicked a goal, but it's been through the agency of Rich as a linkage player. So he's going to be a pivotal factor in that respect. Dawson up to 8 disposals for Southport. Toner's got 7 for the Seagulls. Heron also with 7 touches. But quick key responses there from Williamstown to take the lead, regain the lead as well. 3-2 to 2-2. So it's been a good start to this contest. Very even. There's been a few errors and scrappy in parts, but overall, good competitive footy. This round 3 encounter. Back in the middle. Crosley back in the ruck for the Sharks. Gets a delicate palm down. Woodcock is confronted in a high manner. He'll receive the free kick. How about that for a contrast in height between Downey and Woodcock, who is a prolific ball winner. Gets up a little bit gingerly. Goes short. He'll get it back from his teammate in Lake. So Woodcock, penetrating kick inside the 50. Looks for Dixon, who may have been held on to. He was looking for the free kick. Tries to paddle it to his advantage. Eventually it's forced over the line. And we'll have a throw in. Hugh Dixon just having a little word with the umpire, saying he may have been tugged on the jumper as he was trying to make his lead. That's going to be an interesting matchup between he and Finn O'Dwyer's had his moments so far in the contest as well, off half-back.
All in attack for the Sharks. Williamstown have kicked the last 2 goals after the Sharks kick 2 in a row. We'll get it thrown in once again.
Last time these two sides played was on this ground last year, and Williamstown won by 10 points. That was a very blustery day as well from memory.
Certainly was.
Low scoring game too.
Ball tossed in. Downey with the fist. Ebinger first to it. Beaten though in the end by Williams. Edwards applying the pressure, but it's extracted by Philpott. Back to Ebinger. Dangerous contest here. Spencer able to take the mark despite Joyce coming the other way, and good to see Joyce get back to his feet and end up with the footy here, but he's put Jepson into trouble and he didn't dispose of it properly. The pressure from Petridge, terrific. The young key forward prospect. Pops it short to Brown. Out wide to Parks. Gadsby can't hang on, but he might get a free kick. And he will. He's got it about 60 out. Noah Gadsby just puts it to the hot spot. Ball carries. Coleman almost ended up with it. It's gathered by Philpott, who tries to do the miracle, but can't quite make it happen.
Funny, when you're full of confidence, you kick the goal earlier in the quarter. May as well have a go for it in that situation, trying to swing it round over his shoulder effectively there. So Jepson to bring it back into play for the Sharks. They trail by 7 points on the cusp of quarter time. By another 10 metres here. Kicks towards right half back. 1-on-1. Again, Dixon against O'Dwyer. It's going to be a key matchup today. Winning it is O'Dwyer. Keeps his footing. Went over the head there of Triffett. Dawson tries to pirouette his way out of trouble. Unsuccessful. Coleman in a confined space is confronted, holding the ball. Good pressure applied. Joyce to clear for the Sharks. He's going to go centrally. Works out okay. Mark taken by Hall. Centre half back. Going to work it laterally. I wonder if they'll just hold on to it until quarter time. McGuinness, one of the inclusions today for the Sharks. Kick out wide. Just held on to inside the field of play by Banks Smith. Just backward of left centre wing.
Works it up the line. Williamstown with more numbers here, and Bonner will mark comfortably. Looks laterally to Fitzgerald. Had Parks running by. In fact, make that Stoddart. And he's got Coleman all on his own, who can get it and go. Looks for a lead in the pocket, gets one, but good work by Sexton to drop back and get a fingernail on it.
It was a well-executed spoil, wasn't it? He waited until the right moment to float in across the contest. Good defensive play because there was space in the hole in that 4 pocket. The Sharks have to be very disciplined here to ensure they don't concede before quarter time.
Almost 30 minutes gone. Downey first hand to it. Jepson. Williams needs to be careful. Ball knocked out in the tackle according to the umpire. Fordham works some space. Right foot banana is just missing. Will Fordham almost making something very special happen.
That would have been a Smithy snag, no question about that, given he was going on the outside of the boot as well. So on the cusp of quarter time. Of course, all Smithy's VFL and Rebel VFLW matches live and free on afl.com.au and the AFL Live official app. This is Gray at centre-half back for the Sharks. Rockets it off to Joyce. It's away from Coleman. Sends it long towards centre-half for a good kick. Banksmith did the hard work, just couldn't take the mark. Here's Foot. Tries to pluck the footy out from underneath him. Bonner inserting his physical imprimatur. He's wrapped up in a tackle. We'll have a ball up. Right in the centre-half forward position for the Sharks. Can they sneak one in before the quarter-time siren? We've gone almost 31 minutes here at DSV Stadium. Crosley slaps it down comprehensively. Well done from Philpott. Gets the kick away. And there's the siren for quarter-time. A lovely, picturesque day at DSV Stadium. It's been a good contest. The home side, the Seagulls, leading by 8 points. 3-4-22.
Going to the scoring end in this second term. It's the Gulls leading it by 8 points. And just like the first term, we'll get a recalled bounce. Bowman in the ruck with Crosley starting deep forward for this second term. Did take a mark and kick a goal, Crosley, in that opening term, so he caused him some problems as Heron escapes the congestion. Looking for Crosley, who got a hand to it, and he'll get the free. So Crosley playing as the deep forward, causing a talented but somewhat undersized Williamstown defence some issues.
He just attracts the ball to him. He tracks players to him as well. He was held on to, tried to fend off the player with one hand while also taking the mark with the other hand. He's just a tower of brute strength, isn't he, Braden Crosley? He could kick his second goal already.
Not only is he tall, but he's just a big physical presence inside forward 50 when he goes down there, and he's got two. And he is excited, Braden Crosley, as the Sharks get the first of the second.
Ideal start for the Sharks, with Williamstown kicking two in a minute late in that first quarter. Just rested momentum back to the home side, but already the Sharks responding early in the second term with a deep forward 50 entry. And again, it was Heron. He's moved into the midfield, can play defence, but he's going to be a key focal point in that midfield in terms of winning the clearances. And just a long driving kick always puts the defence under pressure, and we saw it on that situation. Drew the error, drew the free kick, and the Sharks get a goal out of it. And they win the centre clearance again. So we're back in the middle. 2-point ball game here at DSV Stadium. Downey slightly won it down. Collier Dawkins now winning the clearance for the Seagulls. Just tumbles it inside 50. Good tackle from Ellison. Will it be holding the ball? The umpire comes in and crosses the arms. We'll have a ball up, but still all the same. A good tackle there on Will Sexton, who was trying to break away. That's one of the attributes Ellison has. Not only a focal kicking point in that forward 50, he can tackle as well as the snap towards goal out of the congestion comes there from Brown. But it's to the left of the goal face and just a minor score. So 3-5 to 3-2. And B. Jepson to bring it back in for the Sharks.
Goes short to the pocket for Spencer, who hammers it down the line. Dixon, the flyer, but just got himself underneath it. And now the Seagulls can go the other way. Collier Dawkins in the corridor. Wobbles it towards half forward, but only as far as Willis.
Slips catch.
Yep, read it off the boot. A little bit better than Coleman, who was caught out of position. And Willis is going to go straight down the middle. Crosley couldn't hang on. Errant handball opens the door, though, for Lake. Bonner's got him, but got him high.
That's the advantage of being diminutive against your opponent. He got him right round the neck.
Yeah, that's it. The former Suns Academy member, Campbell Lake.
Bit of a dust-up behind the play as well.
Yeah, a few players involved. Dawson at the bottom of the heap. Fordham in there as well.
Oh, there we go.
And it's going to be 50. Dawson drew the 50, the antagonist. And that's going to bring Lake to the goal line, where he should and I repeat, should kick his first goal. And that's exactly what he does. First 2 of the second go to the Sharks.
Undisciplined play there from the Seagulls in defence. Getting involved in a dust-up. As you said, Dawson, the antagonist, he was slung out of that little scrimmage there. And the umpire was awake to it. It was almost Shannon Motlop on Darren Creswell back in 2002, which resulted in a goal after the siren.
Has the most touches on the ground too, Dawson, with 9. So he's proving a problem for Williamstown, and this really is a fascinating midfield matchup. 2 of the best midfields you're going to find outside of the AFL.
Yeah, there's no doubt Dawson runs very well. He's a good extractor, good accumulator on the outside as well. But his running power is absolutely superb. He can cover a lot of territory. Back in the middle, the Sharks now with 2 in a minute. We'll have another recall bounce. So it's been one of those games, hasn't it, where it's been pendulum swinging. Seagulls had the momentum with 2 in a minute in the first term. Now it's vice versa in the second to the same end as well. Downey involved in the ruck contest. Triffett hands it back. This is Fordham. Tries to break through. Got the hand pass away. I think he might have been slung in that situation. So it's going to come back to Fordham. Slung by his opposing number 7 in Bowman. Kick out wide. Finds a man who's been prolific already, O'Dwyer. Not necessarily in disposals, but just in meeting each contest. Goes back into the middle. Fordham again with another touch. That's number 8 for him. As they transfer play to the open side, the broadcast side. No mark taken by Minton Connell, but he does well to recover. Then slips over. It's like Marvel Stadium last night. Gives it off. Gadsby. Dribble kick towards half forward. Triffett couldn't quite get a handle on it. As a consequence, Derrington's away. One of the inclusions in the Southport lineup. Kicks out wide, and Crosley takes the mark on centre wing.
Had to go full strength, Crosley. Lake pushed his opponent Stoddart in the back. An advantage is going to go the Towners' way. Fitzgerald looping handball. Conway. And they're going to go up the outer wing. Ellison, strong hands. He'll poke it inboard for Fordham, who has the runner. Fitzgerald, long inside 50. Gadsby at the back, can't bring it in, and that's an outstanding mark in defence by Jepson. Plays that rebounding halfback role so well. As he pops it short to Woodcock. 30 touches and a goal for Boyd last week. Well, not last week, 2 weeks ago. As Williams up the line. Dixon and Bonner. Minton Connell crashing through. Off to Ebinger. Searing ball looking for Gadsby through his fingertips. Inside 50 for the goals. Southport defence holds up well. Little fumble from Sexton. Had time to recover. And Joyce just hammers it up the line. Oh, big collision. Dixon's not afraid to exert his physical dominance. And Minton Connell is still down as the ball goes over the line.
Picks himself up with the assistance of a trainer. Looks like he'll be okay. You mentioned Boyd Woodcock, 30 touches a couple of weeks ago. In round 1 against Port Melbourne, he had 44 disposals and was also on the score sheet as well. So we know how damaging he can be. Today he's had the 7 touches, so still a contributor, but not as omnipresent as he has been the first couple of rounds, at least so far. Still a long way to go. There's an infringement out of the ruck contest. In fact, it was probably just off the contest in the end, and Toner's got the free kick. Hero for the Seagulls a couple of weeks ago on Good Friday. We'll chip it short. Downey all on his lonesome. 57 metres from home. Somewhat congested forward line. He'll kick it deep on the left foot. 2-on-2 contest. Oh, well, talk about an air ball. In the end, it's been taken easily on the chest by Ellison. Well, he just read it well. A couple of attempted spoils just didn't make contact. And Ellison has the opportunity to wrest momentum back for the Seagulls and wrest the lead back as well, but he's kicking from right on the boundary line. Hard to negotiate this wind. Ellison. Exceptionally acute angle. He's gone with the check side. I tell you what, it wasn't far away. It's clipped the post on the way through. Get the sense he's done that before at that end of the ground at training. Just a minor score. 3-6, playing 5-2. As the scoreboard updates here at the ground.
home crowd starting to get involved as well. They were almost on their feet with that kick from Ellison, and then a free kick they didn't quite agree with going to Woodcock.
It's back to 4-2 now for Southport. The scoreboard just updating at the ground.
Willis affects the switch to Sexton, who in turn looks for Shannon. Couldn't bring it in. Williams swoops on it. And then ends up with it again. Up the line they go. And Downey dropping back, does that so well.
Makes it look easy, doesn't he?
As a ruckman. He just knows where to be. And he plays his role to perfection. Up the line, off hands. Sexton driven into the turf by Triffett. That's what he does best. A tackling machine. Averaging 7 of them already this season.
He's a leading tackler today so far as well with 4.
Yep, that's what he's there to do. As we get play restarted. Minton Connell turns it over. Paulson almost wins it back for the goals, and then just got a bit high on Edwards, who wastes no time in going forward. One-on-ones inside 50 for Banks Smith. Can't quite find his target. The spin was clever from Darrington. Can't quite get the space. Then he lost the footy. Umpire giving him a lot of time. And Darrington can't make the most of it in the end as he kicks it out on the full.
Be Fitzgerald to bring it back in. He wastes no time. The umpire says you've got to go back over your mark, son, which he will do. It's an interesting contest, this one. Hard to pick. Really, who's got full control? Sort of going in spurts at the moment, this game. Fitzgerald down the line at the back. Coleman rockets a hand pass off. Rich has been a good linkage player. They work it through the centre wing area. Coleman again hands it off. Opportunity now for Brown. High kick at a spacious forward line. Genuine one-on-one. Good spoil at the back from Spencer. Was good against Ebinger, who follows up with a good tackle. Trying to pick it up now, Ellison. Ebinger with a tackle once again. Good follow-up in that situation. We'll have a ball up right in front of the grandstand here at DSV Stadium. It's 47 out from the Williamstown goal. They trail by 2 points. But it's been a fascinating duel. Downey wins it down against Crosley. Ellison tries to fish the ball out. Ebinger was attempting to take the ball off the ground. He does affect the tackle in the process. It'll be another ball up, but they're just edging closer towards goal here, Williamstown.
They've looked good on the rebound a couple of times, Williamstown. Kicked a goal on transition in the opening term. Had an opportunity there before Spencer's crucial fist. It's going to be another stoppage as Dawson again attracting attention. This time from Corey Rich.
He's been an agitator as well as a ball winner, so he's hurting them on and off the ground.
Yeah, they're certainly paying him a lot of attention. Downey bends down to pick it up, finds Gadsby with the handball, but he's set upon immediately, and Southport clear the immediate danger. Hall pushed off it well in the end by Stoddart. Didn't get much purchase on the kick. Driven into the turf, Collier Dawkins. And he's not getting out of that as umpire Wilcox says, give it to me.
Jepson involved once again with a good tackle. He's the equal leading possession winner on the ground with 9 touches.
2-point game with Williamstown into attack. Woodcock got nothing on the kick. It's play on. And dropping back into the hole is Willis for Southport.
It's interesting, there's been no dominant ball winner in this game singularly as far as any player is concerned. So it's been an even spread in terms of contribution for both sides. McGuinness, deep in defence, just saunters forward. Chips it towards left half back. Outnumbered there was Manteep, went to ground. Hand pass from Gray works out okay. Spencer combining with Banks Smith. Pops it up towards centre wing. Numbers with the Sharks. Minton Connell got to the front spot with a box seat. Forces it out of play, which is a good result for the Seagulls in the end because they were outnumbered on the transition. So it'll be a throw in. Still a gentle breeze at the ground, but nothing overly significant. Good conditions for footy overall here at DSV Stadium. It can blow a gale here, particularly in the middle of winter. 4-2 to 3-6. Sharks with the lead. Downey wins it down. Triffett tries to extract it out. Woodcock. Good little land pass to Dawson. Might have been high contact off the play. Umpire is going to bring it back to Boyd Woodcock. As we said, accumulated 74 disposals in the first 2 rounds of footy. 44 in round 1, 30 in round 2. Drills it inside the 50. Looking there for Dixon on the bounce. He's brought to ground immediately by Parks. Ball spills free. Hand pass comes towards Banks. Smith went over his head. Foot will apply the pressure on Collier Dawkins and forces him out of play. As there's another scuffle. A bit of feeling in this game between these two sides. It's a scuffle at left half forward for the Sharks. Dixon heavily involved there. I think the umpires will look to just move the play on with a throw in. Manteet getting involved as well. So it'll be a throw in deep in the forward pocket here for the Sharks. They have the edge on the scoreboard. Crosley wins it down. Shannon tries to fish the ball out. Still in dispute. Triffett. Quick hand pass in close quarters, and now the Seagulls are away. Kick by Paulson has gone out on the full. So it'll be a free kick to the Sharks. It'll be taken by Jepson, who's come a long way up the ground. He's 70 metres from home.
And he's got every single player on the ground is in his offensive half. Big fly comes from Gray. Can't bring it in. And we're going to have it thrown up. Crosley was the tall target. Gray flew in over the top. This time Crosley gets first hand to it, but it's cleared by the Gulls. Willis the extra, but he's not needed because Joyce takes a terrific one-on-one mark. Moves it quickly to Foot. Right on the paint of 50. Drives it goalward. Has it got the journey? It does, but not the accuracy. So the scoring dried up a little bit in the middle stages of quarter number 2. It's a 3-point lead to the Sharks.
Zach Foot, who played a couple of games for the Swans back in the COVID years, 2020. I think he started a game, I remember, against GWS. And they had the Battle of the Bridge in that situation where couldn't play games in Melbourne. And it was a real boom for teams outside of Victoria. Coleman's appealing for the free kick. I think it's going to come further back. There may have been a push out in that contest. So the Gulls have it. Coleman will get it back again here. Takes the mark in front of Lake. What could Coleman do? Walters round on the left foot. Kick inside the 50. It's almost pulled in. Sharks have the numbers. Spencer feeds it out. McGuinness from right half back. One of the inclusions for the Sharks today. Looks for Foot. Just palms it out in front of him. Gives it off. Now the run and supply provided from Heron, who kicks it long inside. 50. Gray couldn't quite hold the mark on the second attempt. He's gang tackled to the ground. And we'll have a ball up. So Heron getting involved again as he was earlier in the quarter when he was winning a couple of clearances. We'll have a ball up about 45 out for the Southport goal as we're approaching time on in the second term.
One down by Petrich. Parks shovels it out to Stoddart, who is a good ball user off half back, and he finds Gadsby playing a bit more forward today. We've seen him spend a lot of time on the wing in the last couple of years. Kicks to an outnumber situation, and Spencer kills the contest.
Don't forget, you can get behind your favourite VFL and VFLW team this year and sign up as a member. Head to the VFL website for all club membership details. Still time, still early in the season, of course.
Absolutely, and these two standalone clubs, excellent to get behind. It's Hall, farms it out to Joyce, keeps it alive to a 2-on-1. Gray first hands to it. Lake applying the pressure on Fitzgerald. Greiser lost it. Little Lake is going to send it goalward. How's the bounce? Not good enough. And that's another behind. The Sharks are looking dangerous at times as Greiser goes quickly to Toner. Now Stoddart to Coleman. Looks inside 50. Good contest, Sexton and Rich.
Whoa.
McGuinness comes in. Rich meets him solidly. Conway gets the hands free. Rich in once again. Manteet handballs indiscriminately. And it's going to come straight back. Toner has time to steady. Top of the square. Ellison may have been held. Umpire says no. Trying something incredible was Ebinger. But he hits the post. Or was it Brown? In fact, it was.
That was unbelievable that it had gone through. You could hear the gasp from the supporters behind the goals as well. Sharks will bring it back out of the defensive 50 through Hall. Now Heron has time to size up the options. Takes a bounce. He's approached by Collier Dawkins, who brings him down. Sensational tackle. That was like Ottens on Pettigrew in the 2007 Grand Final. Collier Dawkins 75 metres out from goal. Wheels onto the right foot. Probing kick into the pocket. Spencer will be in the box seat. Couldn't take the mark. Opportunity at ground level. Ebinger went without it. And held up as Ellison will have a ball up right in front of the grandstand here at DSV Stadium. 35 out for the Seagulls goal. They trail by 3 points. Probably been inside the Sharks territory more so in the last 5 to 10 minutes. And the umpire's blown the whistle. Free kick's going to come back. It looks like it's going the way of the Sharks.
Yeah, it will be 50 as well.
Yeah, because the kick happened after the whistle was blown. They tried to take the advantage. No, it won't be 50 by the looks of it. It's probably one of those ones where it was line ball, in fairness. So, Sharks will bring it out of defence. McGuinness receiving from Jepson. Give it back with the old 1-2. Kick down the line is good to left half back. Spencer. He's got Mantine on offer. Puts it out in front of him. Getting there is Bonner, who feeds a hand pass over the top. He was trying to find his teammate there in Conway, but unsuccessful. Have a throw in. 75 out from the Sharks goal. They probably dominated the territorial battle in the last 5 to 10 minutes. They just haven't put it on the scoreboard, have they? Neither side really has in this second term.
They defend so well, Williamstown. It's been a feature of this club for a very long time. His foot bursts away from the congestion. Puts it up to the hot spot, but no one home. Just Parks.
Ooh.
Dangerous kick through the corridor. Woodcock pounces and can make him pay, but not full price. He'll be disappointed with that. Woodcock usually buries those.
Yeah, just the discount in the end. Parks to bring it back into play. This is O'Dwyer. It's been fascinating in his defensive contributions today. That's a low trajectory ball, a little bit dangerous, but it works out okay. And away go the Seagulls out of defence. Run provided there by Polser. Gives the hand pass off. Now an opportunity for Williamstown as it's brought long inside the 50 from Brown. Looking for Coleman, who kept his footing. Spencer got back to force a contest. Coleman can't keep it in play. We'll have a throw in deep in the forward pocket for the Seagulls as the Sharks players get around, rightly so. Max Spencer there because he had a lot of ground to make up. And he just got that desperate little touch there to ensure it went out of play. So a throw in deep in the forward pocket here for Williamstown. They trail by 4 points. A bit of touch inaccurate. Trying to streak away there is Williams. Is it off? Bowman hacks it on the boot towards centre wing. Good play, and the one-on-one from Bonner takes the mark on centre wing to the plaudits of the crowd. Chips it short. Well, he's followed up with an error, and Banks Smith intercepts.
Looks for Woodcock in a 1-on-2, and Parks drifting back. Takes a strong mark. Looks inboard. That one okay for Collier Dawkins. Stoddart. Across the ground for Greiser. Decided to take on Lake, and that was a bad idea. He'll end up with it here, Lake. He's got the foot speed. Gets away from Greiser. Has a man running back towards goal. He's got two, in fact. Woodcock. The kick made him work, though, and didn't quite keep it alive, and that's actually
good
to his benefit because Bonner would have come away with it and sent the Towners into attack if he did. So just execution lacking on that occasion going into attack for the Sharks.
Wonder if it'll be a shorter quarter. We go on 22 minutes. Not a lot of scoring, particularly the latter part of the term.
Dixon wins it down into the path of Foot, who tries the dribbler, but getting back and playing the goalkeeper role is O'Dwyer.
I was wondering if there would be a chaotic bounce, whether it would have bounced over his head. So O'Dwyer to bring it back in. Resolute defender for the Seagulls. Very good in a one-on-one situation, as well as being a player that can streak away off half-back when required. Goes short to Bonner. Content to just hold up the play here. Trail by 5 points. Probably won't be too far away from half-time, given the lack of scoring. Kick towards centre wing. Good spoil at the back coming there from McGuinness. Trying to extract it out is Willis. Ellison, quick give. Away go the Seagulls now through the corridor. This is Ebinger in the middle of the ground. He's got a lateral option in Stoddart and finds him. Riley Stoddart on centre wing. Left foot kick inside the 50. It's a good spot up as well. Mark taken there by Jack Brown just inside the 50. And he's content to just go back. Have complete faith in himself to execute the set shot. It's probably a little bit easier breeze-wise given the protection of the stand at this end of the ground, although the scoring has been predominantly done probably for the other end, ironically enough. So Jack Brown almost executed a miracle soccer out of mid-air earlier in the quarter. Has an opportunity to break the drought here from a set shot. He'll be kicking from right on the arc. Kick by Brown. It's on target. It's got the carry, and the drought is broken. Williamstown hit the front. And they get around him rightly so. Jack Brown with his first at VFL level for Williamstown. 4-7 to 4-6. And that will certainly be a team lifter for the Seagulls, who've been trying to penetrate into attack for much of the quarter. Just haven't made it count on the scoreboard. They did on that occasion.
Yep, 1-2 on the day now for Jack Brown. Young man out of Keilor, just 20 years old. In the very early stages of his state league career. That'll do his confidence the world of good as the Towners take the lead back, approaching the half.
It's a lovely set shot as well. I mean, he had a lot of distance to cover and didn't really deviate at all off the boot.
And keeping Bowman in the ruck, Southport, with Crosley deep inside attacking 50. And Bowman actually wins the hit out, but it's straight to Fordham. He's able to get the hands free, but his handball intercepted by Jepson. Difficult half volley for Derrington. Minton Connell overran it. Now the Southport cavalry comes in the direction of Dixon, who keeps it alive for Boyd. And the quick response comes from Southport.
Boyd Woodcock, lovely crubbing player as we know, a big accumulator. Hasn't been as omnipresent today, but I tell you what, he was omnipresent in that contest. He got to the right spot and crumbed the pack. Ultimately, it came through a quick clearance, a bit like the early part of the quarter. Remember in the first minute, they got a goal pretty much out of the opening centre stoppage for a quick clearance from Heron. That time was driven deep inside the 50. And they respond quickly as a result. Always puts the defence under pressure in that situation. So they haven't been as successful on the coast-to-coast transition, Southport, but they've been very good out of the centre stoppages in this game so far. That's why they're keeping Bowman in the ruck. And Crosley can be a dangerous presence inside that 450. Bowman wins it down again against Downey. Kick out of midair from Dawson. Free kick. Was it kicking in danger? Yes, it was. Free kick going the way of the Seagulls. Toner to be the recipient. In the middle of the ground. He's got Philpott short. He'll use him on the broadcast wing. Still reasonably spacious forward line now. It's a bit congested. Retreats back to Minton Connell. Got Petrich down the line. Minton Connell drives it into the pocket. Be right on the line. Ellison almost took the mark. Did well in the one-on-one contest, but it's sprawled over the line. Joyce getting involved along with McGuinness. We'll have a throw in probably about 40 metres around for the Williamstown goal. Can they respond again on the cusp of half-time?
Seesawing contest at DSV Stadium. Two proud standalone clubs doing battle in round 3 of the Smithies VFL. That's a big tackle from Triffett. To keep the ball locked inside, attacking 50. Jepson, 13 disposals to lead all comers on the ground.
Triffett with 5 tackles.
Yep, Shannon actually kicked more of the ground than the ball, and he's a little bit sore after that as the ball rolls harmlessly out of play.
Ebinger also with 5 tackles as well, and just disposal-wise, he mentioned Jepson with 13. Woodcock up to 11, so he's still in for a key posting today, the way things are going.
Dawson taken to ground by Gadsby and was taken high in the process. There's been a man with a target on his back today, Jacob Dawson, still having an influence on this contest. Woodcock has it punched away from him. Banks Smith pounces on the loose ball and is taken to ground without it. Boyd can kick his second here. Woodcock drives it goalward, but it's well wide of the mark and, in fact, misses everything. And it's going to be a boundary throw-in.
It's a good result for Southport, isn't it?
Yep.
I think it was almost a half volley that time.
Yeah, they've gotten lucky with those, with a couple of those in this second term as we get a whistle.
Free kick.
And which way is it going? It's going to go to Crosley. So the big fella can kick his third in this first half.
Is he going to go on the boundary line here?
Yep, he's going to have to kick it from the point where the ball was when the infringement occurred, which, of course, was out of play. So a difficult kick awaits for Braden Crosley. Certainly not beyond him, though. He's proven the difference so far in the contest, and he's got his third.
Oh.
3 goals in a half for Braden Crosley. And Southport get out to an 11-point lead, their biggest of the game so far.
That was nonchalant, wasn't it? With the check side, just waltzed around and split the middle. A couple of crucial goals for Southport when Williamstown had a bit of momentum only about 5 minutes ago. They retook the lead, and the Sharks have that habit, don't they? We saw that a couple of years ago when they were a premiership contender. Obviously, were runner-up in 2022 to Casey when they played against teams with momentum on the opposition side. They could wrest it back so easily. Looks like it was a bit of a scuffle on the outer side.
Yeah, plenty of feeling in this contest. Not traditional rivals, of
No,
course. These
they're
two
two
clubs,
standalone clubs, though.
But they certainly sense that they both may be contending for a spot in finals this season. Always put out excellent sides, these two teams.
6-6 to 4-7. Sharks with the momentum late in the first half. Can the Seagulls respond? Downey wins it down. Collier Dawkins trying to insert a bit of dominance in the centre clearance department. Kicks it inside the 50. Good tackle from Gadsby there on Willis. Willis slaps it out. Looking for Edwards. Here's a chance for Triffett. Hands it off to Gadsby. They need a goal, the Seagulls. Gadsby can oblige. Great kick. Great response. And Noah Gadsby on the cusp of half-time puts through a crucial goal for Williamstown, and the margin back to within a kick.
So the first and only double-digit lead of this contest, and it only lasted about 30 seconds. Noah Gadsby immediately responds. And we are set for a cracking contest, and either side giving an inch.
It's funny, we haven't had a huge amount of centre stoppages necessarily, but every time we've had one, there's been either a scoring opportunity or a goal at least in the offering for either side when they get it out of the centre quickly. We've seen it with Southport a couple of times this quarter. Now Collier Dawkins winning the clearance, getting an extracted kick out in a difficult situation. They get it inside 450 quickly. It puts the defence under pressure.
We mentioned these two midfield groups. They are potent. Collier Dawkins again, but Conway will get the free. So another centre clearance to the goals, and, well, they could go into halftime with a lead if they can make good on it here. Downey has Paulson running. Now goes short to his captain. Beyond his range, Paulson. So he sets it up. Ebinger will fly. Can't take the mark. And in fact, Bowman does on the double grab. Just ran underneath it that time, Ebinger. Usually judges the ball so well in flight. As Bowman chips it wide to Jepson. Leading ball winner on the ground. That's number 14, but it's not his best. Cut off for the goals by O'Dwyer. And
been good, hasn't he, in defence?
Yeah, he's taking his time. Now just pumps it long to a contest, Petrich. Can't take the mark, and it's out of play.
32 and a half minutes we're approaching on the clock in this second term. 6-6 to 5-7. Shackles have been broken a little bit in the contest, but still very tight and hard fought. There's no doubt about that. Throwing deep in the pocket for the Seagulls. Can they claim the lead on the cusp of half-time? Downey takes it out of the ruck, pops it up high to the teeth of goal. Oh, Petrich with a juggler. Sensational grab. Had to hold off his opponent with one hand and took it with the other. And he can't play on here because the half-time siren's gone. He was thinking about going with the check side, but he has to now.
Well, can still do it, but he just can't go off the line.
Yeah. And I think he was thinking about absolutely wheeling around. The umpire just explaining what he can and can't do. So here we go. He'll use his allotted amount of space. This to give Williamstown the lead on the halftime siren. And he puts it through. The Brethren go up. The team goes up. The Seagulls are alight at halftime. They've taken the lead. Petrich with a goal.
In the last few minutes to take a slender lead into the main break. Crosley has kicked 3 goals, playing mostly as a forward so far today. Collier Dawkins has been excellent in the middle of the ground and wins another clearance. Coleman arrives late and takes the mark. He was caught 3 deep, but after it bounced off his chest, he was able to hang on.
He was in the right spot at the right time, wasn't he? Read the flight of the ball well, kept his eye on it, didn't deviate in his effort or his line. He's a player, can be a bit spasmodic at times, but tell you what, when he's on song, he can be electrifying.
Yeah, he kicked 3 goals last 2 weeks ago. Haven't seen too much of him today, but he's the sort of player who only needs a handful of moments to have a big influence on a game, and this is one of those moments, and Blake Coleman delivers. So the first goal of the second half goes Williamstown's way after a somewhat unexpected pack mark from Blake Coleman.
Yeah, going back with the flight, 7-7 to 6-6 early in the third term. Wouldn't discount the Sharks, though, the way the game has been playing. We've seen one side get out to a 2-goal lead, and then it gets pegged back, and then it goes the other way. So that's, I think, fair to say.
Centre bounce goals too have been a big aspect of this one.
Well, that was the point I was about to make, because I reckon the start of the second term we had a goal to Southport through Braden Crosley, and Williamstown opened their account pretty early in the game as well in the first quarter. So a lot of majors have been scored out of centre stoppages. Here's another one, back in the middle. Crosley palms this one down. Fordham collects it on the bounce. Gives a hand pass off to Collier Dawkins. He's been a prolific clearance winner today. Kicks inside the 50. Into the path of Gadsby. Coleman's there as well. Numbers with the Sharks. Spencer. Manteet. They're under severe pressure. Williams just gets a hand pass away. In the confined space, they do it well. Heron from right half back. Hard up against the boundary line. Kicks towards centre wing. Underneath it is Parks. Takes a good uncontested mark. Had his moments in the second term. Former Blue. Parks wheels onto the right foot. Sends a penetrating kick towards half forward. Ellison camped underneath it. Off the hands of Petrich. Here's Gadsby. Gets a little kick forward. Williams breaks away. Good convincing play from Dawson again. It's a little chip forward. Gray combining with Dawson. Gray again. Chips it short. Dixon around the body on the left foot. Good intelligent kick to centre half forward, and Bagsmith takes the mark. He's off and running straight away on the outside. He's got the run of Edwards. Takes it on the bounce, gives it off to Woodcock. He's an excitement machine. Chips it short, and it works out okay. Mark taken by Lake deep in the pocket.
Had some moments in that first half, Campbell Lake. A really good pressure player inside forward 50. Needs to take advantage of his opportunities when he gets them.
He's going to go with the check side here. That kick inside 50, travelled just the required meterage. Lake, can he take advantage? Low trajectory. And on the bounce, through for a minor score. Struggled to make the distance there. So they edge a little bit closer. It's a straight kick in it here at DSV Stadium. The Seagulls in the lead.
1-1 now for Lake. It's going to be Greiser bringing it back into play as he has so often over the years for the Seagulls. Drives it long. The rucks are there. Big fist comes from the back. Collier Dawkins had a little fumble. Dawson dragged off his handball. Shannon now laying a strong tackle. Crosley has started this third term in the ruck. Kicked 3 goals if you've just joined us in the first half, playing mostly inside forward 50. Shannon dragged to ground.
Wonder what the plan will be in the second half from the coaching staff here as to whether he goes back into that deep forward role at some stage. Is it predicated on the game situation?
And the Williamstown defence, it sets up so well, and there is plenty of talent, but it is a little bit undersized. Finn O'Dwyer, the tallest, at 194 centimetres, and even that might be a little bit generous. Crosley, of course, stands 2 metres tall and has a fair bit of bulk on him as well, so he's a difficult matchup. Got repeat stoppages at left half forward for the Sharks. This time it'll be cleared. Toner. Backwards for Minton Connell. Gets it to Parks. Sidestep good. Minton Connell, though, under pressure.
Well done.
Has to look laterally and finds his captain Paulson, but he's called to play on. The pressure from Southport really good. But able to get out of danger is Brown. Just. Collier Dawkins. Ellison. Up the line. Joyce. Gets the fist on, but somehow Williamstown are going to go forward. This is Coleman, who kicked the first of the third term. Sends it inside 50. Gadsby on his own. Well done, Banks Smith, to get back. Support came from Mantine, but Gadsby gathered, and the great Gadsby finished. The first two of the third term to the goals, but it... And Noah Gadsby does the job.
Love the reference there, Michael. Fantastic snap around the body. You saw him stream into goal in the second term. And once again, very crafty in the way he goes about it. Noah Gadsby just wheeled onto the right foot. Like the reference there to the great F. Scott Fitzgerald novel. I had to give you a bit of an applause there. So we're back in the middle. 8-7 to 6-7. So the Seagulls with the momentum. We saw this earlier in the contest where they kicked a couple within quick succession and the Sharks pegged them back. Will it be a replication here? It's a lovely snap goal from Noah Gadsby. We know how crafty he can be. We're going to have a recall bounce here. So can the Seagulls steer away and capitalise on the momentum, or will it come straight back the other way? Ball up. Crosley. Doing well in the ruck. This time Treffett wins the clearance for the Seagulls. Penetrating kick inside the 50. They converge from all directions. But one man stands tall, as he did in the second term, and that's Petrich. He'll line up from 30 out directly in front. Took a nice juggling mark on the half-time siren and converted. And with the momentum on the Seagulls side, can he convert here and give them a 3-goal break, which I think would be pretty much the biggest lead of the game so far.
Just 19 years old, Petrich, but he's showing some signs.
It's been an industrious start to the third term for Williamstown. Can it continue here? 35 out directly in front. Petrich nails it. Sneaks it home. And it's a 3-goal margin at DSV Stadium. That's his second major of the day. 9-7 to 6-7. And won't say red alert signs yet for Southport, but certainly they have to be alert in the sense that with the way the game has been played, neither side has really broken away. The Seagulls are threatening to do so here.
The biggest lead either side has held in this contest. Goes to show how close it's been over the course of the day. So a hot start to quarter number 3 for the Gulls. They led it by just 1 point at the main break. Crosley trying to put an end to all that. Dishes it off to Dawson. To the one-on-ones. Bowman off hands. Gray has had a couple of half chances. And that was another one that he wasn't quite able to take advantage of. But they've got it inside 50, the Sharks. Yet to really have any clear goal-scoring opportunities as Downey takes it out of the ruck, but only as far as Joyce. Gains some territory, sent it to right to the line, but it's going to be touched over by O'Dwyer.
He was threatening, wasn't he, Joyce? He's a big, long kick of the footy. And with the momentum and penetration he built up, he was always going to be a chance from there. Well done from O'Dwyer to get back on the goal line. So Bonner brings it back into play for the Seagulls. Favours the outer side again. Downey's the target. Sport the back came from Spencer. Southport have the numbers at ground level. Joyce again. Hand pass intercepted. Here's Treffett off half back. Off a step. Just dribbles it forward. Pressure from behind affected the kick. Sexton's kick inside the 50. Almost taken to the end by Derrington. It's like a terrier trying to get out of the pack. Ball spills free. Foot on the right foot. Swings it round the body. And it's gone out on the full. So looking threatening there, the Sharks, trying to regain a bit of momentum. Fitzgerald will take it from the left back pocket position. 9-7 to 6-8. Tests and questions now on the Sharks. Fitzgerald will go long down the line. Looks for Philpott. Downey's in the contest behind. Well done there, getting to the front spot. Riley Bowman, who's really acquitted himself quite well, hasn't he, as an inclusion today. Of course, for those who missed it, a number of players out for Southport this week due to injury. Lockhart out with suspension, so they've had to bring in some reinforcements. And I've got to say, a number of them have done well and acquitted themselves for the contest quite well. Bowman palms it down. Handball into the path of Dawson. Spills free. Foot's there. Here's Heron. No, he's a penetrating kick. Gives it back to Bowman. Chances the arms and kicks it high towards the top of the square. Dixon camped underneath it. Can he take the mark on the second attempt? No, he can't. Snap from Banks Smith across the face. And Edwards going back with the flight. Takes the mark. Plays on. Still Edwards. Around the corner he goes. And he's hit the behind post on the full. Woodcock is struggling behind the play. He seems to be limping. He did land awkwardly in that previous contest. We'll keep an eye on him because we know how much of a crucial player he is for Southport. Paulson's got it deep in defence for the Seagulls in the meantime.
Just caught in two minds there, Edwards. Wanted to pass it off, then was called to play on, and in the end he rushed the shot through the fingertips of Williams. Williamstown can transition from one end to the other. This is Brown, the speedster. Hall gives chase but won't catch him. Gets it all the way to 50. Does Brown, top of the square. It's taken and finished off by Josh Brown as the Brown connection combines.
What about that? Coast-to-coast transition. Great run and carry from Jack Brown. Always puts the defence under pressure when you're looming up ominously like that. And he drilled it long. It was a 2-on-1 contest, but he kicked to the path of his teammate Josh Brown, who really just had to sit up and take the mark, and he waltzed into the open goal. But again, that coast-to-coast transition, which hasn't been overly prominent today from either side. That was very, very good from one end to the other for Williamstown. That breaks Southport's hearts, really, because the Sharks really did have to work hard for a couple of opportunities which they couldn't take at their end. And it's just zip-lined from one end to the other. 10-7 to 6-8. It's now out to 23 points. The Sharks need to respond, and they need to respond quickly. Bowman wins it down against Downey. Spills free towards Joyce. Picks the ball up. Loops the hand pass towards Shannon. Going in. Collier Dawkins. Seagulls just have the numbers around the contest. Triffett. Back to Collier Dawkins. Big clearance winner today. Kicks towards half forward. In from the side. Well done. Sexton got a fist to it. And it's over the line. But again, it's inside the Williamstown forward half. 55 out from their goal. They haven't exactly dominated territory in the last 5 minutes, but I tell you what, they've been effective when going forward. Very effective in the first 5 minutes of this quarter. It was just 1 point the difference at half-time. For those who are just tuning in, Williamstown's way, it's now out to 23. 3 kick out of the pack, and it's going the way of the Seagulls. Toner has got it. 57 metres out from goal. He's got Brown deep. Ellison is standing in the pocket, waiting for the long kick to come forward. Looks in that direction. Sharks have the numbers. Hand pass came out. Ellison. Still a chance. Gives it to Coleman. Can't quite break the tackle. Still a live ball. Kicked out of the pack there by Foot towards centre half back. But latching onto another half volley is Minton Cottle. His kick is off the side of the boot. And the mark easily taken there by Will Sexton for the Sharks.
Need to steady here, Southport. This is Willis. Doesn't have a lot to go to. Working hard in defence, Williamstown. So they're going to try and bring it out the broadcast side. McGuinness to Bowman. Edwards might be the next link in the chain, but Bowman is going to go in that direction eventually. But it's clogged up again. So they'll try the outer side once again. McGuinness has Willis short. Instead goes more centrally for Spencer. And it's starting to open up a little bit. Banks Smith caught against a couple of goals. Didn't have the necessary support on the ground. And O'Dwyer retrieves for Bonner. Williamstown very much in control. It's a dangerous ball, but gets to Philpott. And now it opens up through the corridor. Triffett finds Greiser, who breaks the tackle with contempt. Collier Dawkins can get it and go. Runs himself into trouble. Back out of trouble. Rich kicks another one. And that's 5 straight to start this third term for the Gulls.
They call the third quarter the premiership quarter, don't they? This could be the decisive term. It's going to be a difficult task for the Sharks to get back into this one. The momentum, weighted momentum, fiercely with Williamstown at the moment. And they're just transitioning a lot cleaner, aren't they? From one end to the other. They can work it through the corridor. They can work it on either wing. 11-7 to 6-8. And again, Rich getting involved, as we saw in the first half. Being a linkage player, which results in a goal. Across that half-forward line. And he gets involved deeper as well. They've just got the conviction about their play at the moment, the Seagulls. Importantly, winning it out of the centre as well when they get the opportunity. Riley Collier-Dawkins has been prolific in the middle with his clearance work. Back in the middle. Bowman got a slight win in that ruck contest. Manteet gets the hand pass out. Dawson, who can spark the Sharks at the moment. Fordham around the body. It's going to be chopped off and be brought back out of defence here. Just wonder who's going to provide that option, that spark. Joyce has got it at centre half back. Kick to centre wing. Dixon the target. Good sport at the back from Parks. Here's Manteet. Ball eludes him. Well done, Stoddart. Just dodged his way out of trouble. Almost accidentally in the end, and a good, well-weighted kick to Ebinger just inside 50. I think he just held himself up on that occasion there, Stoddart, and then the traffic bypassed him because there was that weighted momentum from either player aside him, and he found Ebinger with a lovely pinpoint pass. So Ebinger was certainly prominent early inside that forward 50. He's had a lot of support elsewhere since. This is an exceptionally difficult shot from 49 metres out. Sprays across the face of goal. Off hands. Chance for Heron if he can pick the ball up. He's got electrifying speed. Kicks it off the ground. Good play from Heron with his persistence. Now falls to ground. Fitzgerald. Weight of numbers with the Seagulls. Gadsby's kick. Falcon. Shannon in the head. And ricochets out of play. We'll have a throw in on the outer side amongst almost the flotilla of yachts in the background of Port Phillip Bay.
If you just joined us, the Gulls led it by 8 at the first break and just 1 at half-time, and they've kicked the only 5 goals so far in this term. They lead it by a commanding 29 points. Dawson, Shannon, back to Dawson. Looks centrally, but only to O'Dwyer.
Just falling down across that halfway mark of the ground, aren't they, this quarter when trying to clear it, the Sharks?
Yeah, Crosley was such a dangerous target inside 50 in that first half. It's been rarely sighted this quarter. Hasn't gotten much supply. This is Fordham trying to pick his way through the Southport defence, and he does just that as he finds Jack Brown.
He bobbed up, almost kicked a miraculous goal out of mid-air earlier on in the contest. Kicked one from just outside the 50 from a pretty similar spot, actually, directly in front from a set shot. He's a little bit closer this time, but he'll fancy his chances off the back of his goal in the second quarter from pretty much the same spot.
He's got 1 goal, 2 for the day, Jack Brown. As he comes in, and from just inside 50, makes it 8 straight goals for Williamstown. And they lead it now by 35 as he kicks his second.
That was a lovely kick, almost textbook off the boot from Jack Brown. A player favourite, a fan favourite as well. Just a prolific kick from outside the 50. Well, that one was just inside the 50, but tell you what, it went through almost halfway up the post height. 12-7 to 6-8. Approaching time on in the third term. It's looking very difficult, isn't it, for the Sharks? Can they get back into it, Michael? The way things are going, it's going to be hard, but you never say never.
You don't often win when you concede 8 goals in a row, but we know this Southport side is capable. Just haven't seen it so far this quarter.
So back in the middle, Crosley wins it down. This is where they've got to win the clearances with a significant amount of prosperity. That kick from Heron's chopped off by Paulson, who's off for a run. They're just looking stagnant, the Sharks, at the moment. Paulson's kick inside the 50. 2-on-1 contest, good spoil at the back coming from Spencer. Triffett meets it on the half volley, picks the ball up, is slung to the ground. Got the hand pass away, Collier Dawkins with the tackle. Still an opportunity here, Spencer with a big tackle. Free kick's been plucked out, and again it looks like it's going the Seagulls' way. This time, Corey Rich, who was certainly very good across that half-forward line in the first half, has got an opportunity here. It'll be directly in front, probably about 35 to 40 metres out. It's been on the scoreboard already from a similar spot. That time it was on the run. This time from a set shot. Corey Rich to extend the lead and to extend the run for the Seagulls. 35 metres out. No problems whatsoever. He's got his second. And the Seagulls are flying away here at DSV Stadium. It's a 41-point ball game.
It's been a powerful third term. It's just a 1-point game at the main break, and now that's all the way out to 41 points. And you mentioned it in the call, Damien, they do just look a little bit stagnant at the moment, the Sharks. Not a lot of run in those legs, while for the Seagulls, they just seem like they're floating on air at the moment.
Well, Paulson just waltzed through the centre pretty casually in the end. I know he's a powerful player with his run, but just wasn't a lot of pressure applied on him at all.
So we're back in the middle. Petrich in the ruck. Follows up, but gives it straight to Heron. This is Manteet now. To the one-on-one, Banks Smith. Kept his feet. Fitzgerald went to ground. Gets support from Lockett, but he turns it over. They're running in waves, the Seagulls. Brown, this is Josh. Has his kick cut off by Willis. And they need a little bit of a spark, Southport, and they might get one here from Bowman. Has a couple of teammates running back towards goal. Instead, he goes for it all. And the big fly was well early from Darrington. And it's going to be Williamstown ball from the last line of defence.
The old saying, did you hear the get set? Well, at least he's trying to provide a spark. Just went a fraction early. Dwyer's been good in defence for the Seagulls when the pressure has been on them. He goes short to Minton Connell, who's called to play on. Darrington corrals him. Minton Connell has been pretty good under pressure today. Kick towards right half back. Good crumbing and sharking there from Toner. Kick towards centre wing. Oh, gee, Spencer went in hard, as did Brown. Big collision, and the free kick's going the way of the Sharks there because Brown charged through. Spencer's got it on the outer side. Oh, it was like a hold-your-breath moment there, like Harbrow and Lewis back in 2010 in the AFL. Crosley, be another collision. Oh, they're going in hard at the moment. That was Parks getting involved, and he's been hammered to the ground. Triffett with a tackle, too high according to the umpire. O'Dwyer going in hard as well. It'll be a free kick to Edwards. Just forward of centre for the Sharks. They need a spark. He rockets a hand pass out. This is Jepson. Long kick to the top of the goal square. Dixon flies high. Off hands Fitzgerald. Will concede. He was drawing the contact, and he has a bit of a word there to Jai Lockett on the fence. And a bit of a scuffle ensues, but all the same, it's a behind. It's a 40-point margin. A rare score for Southport this quarter. 13-7 to 6-9.
Managed just the 3 behinds. Fitzgerald pokes it short to Bonner. The last 9 goals have gone Williamstown's way. In the contest, Downey first hands to it. The Sharks win it back. Edwards left it behind. Willis, watch out! Gadsby got him. And Williamstown turn it back over. Gadsby's kicked a couple of goals today. Looking for Ellison one-on-one, but McGuinness strong in defence. Able to intercept and find foot. Bring it out broadcast side for Banks Smith. He's got Dixon working hard on a searching lead. And Parks is able to get a fist to it. Dixon working hard on the ground though. Doesn't have a lot to kick to. Eventually spots up Lockett at half forward. Foot, who's kept running. His second involvement in this chain. Drives it towards goal, but it's well wide. 4th behind now of the term for the Sharks.
As you said, 9 in a row for Williamstown. 2 came on the cusp of half-time, and they've kicked 7 in a row this quarter alone. The Seagulls. It's been a dominant display. 39 points the margin. Not insurmountable yet, but it's getting close. No doubt about that. Triffett down the line. Spoil from Ellison, who was caught behind. Bowman tries to feed the hand pass out. Willis dispossessed. Going in hard is Brown. Eventually the ball falls out of play. True centre wing out aside. Port Phillip Bay side of the ground. 13-7 to 6-10. Williamstown looking to maintain their undefeated start to the season. Got out of jail against Coburg a couple of weeks ago. Throw in. Downey wins it down. Clearance won there by Shannon. The umpire's blown the whistle. It looks like it's going to come back. Wait on the adjudication. I think Shannon will take it from whence it came. On centre wing. He's had his moments in the contest. Here and there. Shannon.
Reversal against Dawson.
Is that behind the play?
Yep.
Oh, it's
Fordham
funny.
got under his skin.
Well, it's funny. Dawson was getting under the skin of the Williamstown players in the first half, and now it's the other way around. Toner goes short. Just working it methodically forward here, the Williamstown players. Gadsby on the outer side. On the right foot. Penetrating kick inside the 50. Willis was involved, as was Williams with the push out. Free kick is going to go the way of the Seagulls, and Philpott will give it to his teammate Ebinger, who could line up from directly in front, 30 out. Well, Nick Ebinger's kicked one already. That came early in the contest. This will continue the route. This will make it 10 in a row for the Seagulls. So 30 metres out, directly in front. Ebinger for his second, and it's 10 in a row for Williamstown. It's a rout on the bay, particularly in this third quarter. So Ebinger, who's been that focal point up forward, bringing other players into the contest. The margin extends now to 45 points. It's 14-7 to 6-10. It's going to be hard for the Sharks from here.
They've got 6 multiple goal scorers now. The goals, each of them with 2 goals. Both Browns, Ebinger, Gadsby, Petrich and Rich.
So the last goal for Southport was 29 minutes into the second term from Braden Crosley when he kicked his third, and that was to give them pretty much a 2-goal lead. It's been one-way traffic since.
Yep. Since then, it's been a 56-point turnaround, and the goals are looking good to start their season with 3 straight wins, but we know the Sharks won't give up. Here's Hall. Looking for Banks Smith, but over his head, and Greiser is there. Just patrolling that half-back line.
Been good through the corridor too today.
Yeah, he's done it for over 100 games for this proud club. Spencer off hands. Looking for Shannon. Brown there to break it up. Boundary throw in outer side of the ground, with Williamstown leading Southport by 45 points.
Just looking at the major ball winners in this contest, certainly Jepson has been up there for the vast majority of the game, but that's because he's had to work hard in defence. Collier Dawkins has really lifted in this third quarter.
He's been fantastic for the goals today, as is this man Greiser. Took on a few, able to get the handball away though. Triffett just slams it on the boot. Petrich underneath it. Has it thumped away by Spencer.
Petrich has come into the game. He was pretty quiet in the first quarter, wasn't he? And sort of grew in confidence as the second quarter was progressing. Got involved on the scoreboard as well. He's that other tall option inside the 450 when required. Can go into the ruck as well to give Downey a bit of a breather. Downey will contest here against his opponent in Bowman. No clean possession away from the contest as yet. Fordham slips over. Tackle coming there from Dawson. Still the ball in dispute. Foot's waiting for it to come out. Eventually it does come out for the Sharks so they can work it around the outer side. Lake pushed and shoved over the line. We'll have a throw in just forward of centre for the Sharks. We're on the cusp of three-quarter time here. It'll probably be a long quarter. We've had a lot of scoring for Williamstown in this term. Can the Avalanche continue? Throw in. Won by Bowman this time. Free kick off the play by the looks of it here. Shoved to ground was Dawson. Seen that a couple of times where he's received a free kick. Away from the contest. Dawson on the right foot, pops it up towards Dixon. Slaps it to ground. Tapped down by Fitzgerald. Bonner will accept the hand pass here. Gives it back to Greiser. His kick smothered it. Ricochets back to Bonner fortuitously. Handball back to Greiser. Sends a floating kick high. It's a dangerous one to centre half back. Brown came in hard with the spoil. Banks Smith stripped to the footy. Trying to duck his way out of trouble there is Minton Connell, who's been good today. Rich off the ground. Can't penetrate through the wall in the middle of the ground. Chance now for the Sharks to work it forward through Sexton, but it's chopped off. Good play from Parks. Very industrious across that half-back line, and he gives it to Ebinger on centre wing.
Has plenty of options. Petrich one-on-one is the deepest of them. Manteet playing in front. In fact, it was Spencer. Did well. And now the Sharks with some run and carry off half-back. Williams overshoots Joyce, but gets a friendly bounce. Confronted by Bonner. Now to Lake. Handball inboard to Heron. Lake will get it back here. Maybe a chance for the Sharks to kick their long-awaited first of the term, but it's not going to happen with that kick. Dixon has it thumped away by Greiser.
Just growing in confidence, aren't they now, the Williamstown defence? Just their body language. Saw them under pressure with a couple of deep entries in the first half, but at the moment, given the confidence of the team, they're more forthright the way they go about it in a one-on-one and also clearing the defensive zone in this term.
They've got it inside 50, the Sharks. Can they maybe snag a goal? Joyce tried to draw the high free kick. Umpire wise to it. Ball stuck in congestion, and that's how the third term ends. An 8-0-0 third term from Williamstown sees them take a 45-point lead into three-quarter time. Mentioned
margin-wise for the rest of the season. Start of the final term is Michael Peppercelli.
Bowman and Downey do battle once again. Dawson first possession. Can't break free though. Toner dispossessed. And now Heron emerges with the footy. He's got pace to burn. Inside 50 with the kick. Looking for Lockett. Bonner did well using the body. Parks through traffic. Greiser, Collier Dawkins. And they work it out of defence easily. The goals. Gadsby has had a good day, but that not his best moment. Joyce, who's been one of Southport's best, wins the free.
Coming up for possession number 17, which will make him the equal leader on the ground.
Just sends it high and long into attack. Downey there, could only get a hand to it. Gray and Dixon combine. Paulson was taken high. And they'll get out of trouble, the goals.
So Paulson from right half back. Jack Toner up to 17 disposals for Williamstown as well. It's got Bonner deep in defence. They're just going to orchestrate an attack here very methodically. Greiser inside defensive 50's been good today. Short to Brown. That's of the Josh variety. He's kicked a couple of goals. Brown to the outer side. Just making it look so easy at the moment. Fordham receiving from O'Dwyer. Fordham towards half forward. Chipping in there was Hall with the intercept. Just got a touch to it. Dawson bypassed the footy. Here's Heron with a high kick towards centre wing. Genuine one-on-one contest. Well done there from Stoddart to take the mark. And he can just concede ground to Bonner here. They're not in the rush, Williamstown. They played great free-flowing footy, though, in that third quarter. 10 in a row for the game, 8 for the quarter alone. Fordham gives the hand pass off to Stoddart. This is a promising build-up for the Seagulls. Stoddart long inside 50. Big fly from Rich. Couldn't take the mark. Going in hard there was Bowman. Downey bear hugs him. And we'll have a ball up deep in the forward line here for Williamstown. Kicking to what is, I guess, ostensibly the western end of the ground. In this final term, Downey takes it out of the ruck. Couldn't get the kick away. Ellison tries to pick the ball up. Brown's gone down behind the play. Tackle from Heron. And we'll have another stoppage. 45 points the margin. Last time these two sides met at this ground, it was Williamstown by 10 points on a blustery day. Free kick's been plucked out of the pack. Which way is it going? Looks like it's going the way of the Seagulls here. It'll be taken by the big ruckman in Downey. In fact, it's gone off the play. It'll be Rich who will take it, as a matter of fact. So he'll line up from 30 metres out on a slide angle. This to continue the avalanche for Williamstown. This will make it 11 in a row since the latter part of the second term. Kick on the way. Looks sensational. It's another one for the Seagulls. Corey Rich with his third. And the annihilation continues at DSV Stadium. The margin out to 51 points.
The first Seagull to 3 goals. Corey Rich, 6 multiple goal scorers on the day for Williamstown. And they just keep on making this scoreboard look very bad for Southport. If you just joined us, it was just a 1-point game at the half. The Gulls led it by just that 1 point, but since then, 9 goals to none and 11 in a row all up have seen Williamstown take a 51-point lead early in this final term. Back in the middle, Downey first hands to it, Foot left it behind, Heron as well, but he'll get it and go here. Jacob Heron drives it long, one-on-one, Lockett and Bonner. Lockett gives away the free. Bonner, who's been sturdy in defence, finds O'Dwyer, who's also had himself a good day, as is this man Parks. It's a well-drilled back six under Justin Platt. Kick to a pack is taken by Sexton, but he's kicked it well wide.
Sexton was good in the first quarter, maybe drifted out of it since then. Suppose he won't be alone in that department.
Fitzgerald, the ex-Bomber.
He's had a good game today.
And has had a good start to the season with his new side. Long up the line, Petrich just ran underneath it. Coleman couldn't break free. Plenty of numbers around the footy, though, for Williamstown. And now Fordham looks laterally. Stoddart gets a kind bounce. Gadsby's there in support. Cuts in board to Minton Connell, who wastes no time. Philpott's on his own at 50. Never looked towards the sticks and picked out Coleman, who had found a pocket of space.
That was a good, intelligent kick from Philpott. He could have blazed away, gone to the top of the square, which wouldn't have been a bad option all the same, but he lowered the eyes. Noticed Coleman was all on his own, really, in about 5 metres of space in the hot spot, and he weighted it beautifully. Didn't deliver a hospital pass. It was pretty direct, and big opportunity for Coleman here.
Kicked the first goal of quarter number 3, did Coleman. And he becomes the Gulls' 7th multiple goal kicker as they take a 57-point lead.
So I think that's 12 in a row now for Williamstown. It's been some sort of effort, particularly in the second half. They've been irrepressible in most aspects of the game, most areas of the ground. So effectively now, it's going to be interesting to see how far the margin will blow out, it's fair to say. So that makes it a couple for the quarter now. They kicked 2 late in the second term and then 8 in the third quarter. An irresistible period of football over 30 minutes. So back in the middle. Tap one by Bowman. Can the Sharks get some respectability onto this scoreboard? Foot had a fresh air shot. Heron off the ground. Banks Smith tries to barge his way through. Gives it off to Heron. Can he break the drought? 49 metres out. Set sail for home. It's on target, and the drought is broken for Southport. A deserved goal from Heron, who's been one of the better players for Southport today as a clearance winner. And a lovely shot on the run. Breaks the drought for the Sharks.
Most disposals on the ground. Jacob Heron, 21. 4 tackles, and now that goal. So he's put in a solid shift for the Sharks this afternoon, but hasn't had enough come along with him. Braden Crosley back out on the field, who's been patched up.
Wearing the Rick McCosker type strapping around the jaw.
Yeah, it's not the most artistic job there from the physio, but it's good enough as Heron explodes away once again. Into the pocket, outnumbered though, the Sharks, and That's Greiser who's taking the mark. In fact, Fitzgerald it is. Pops it short to Minton Connell. And now Triffett. Short lead from Ebinger is honoured.
It's quite telling, isn't it, that Heron is the leading disposal winner on the ground with 22, and that's from a side that's losing by 51. It shows you how even the contribution has been from the Williamstown players. They haven't really had a massive standout, have they?
No, that's right. And they do tend to play a lower disposal sort of game.
Share it around, yeah.
As Fitzgerald gets it back. Bonner, their leading ball winner with 20. Fitzgerald just pokes it to O'Dwyer.
He's had a good game today.
Yeah, started his season with 2 games over 20 disposals, O'Dwyer. He's up to 17 for the day.
And being good in the one-on-ones, more importantly, when the pressure was on.
Toner to a contest. Ellison the meat and the sandwich. Taken off hands by Coleman. Could have blazed away, but found a teammate running back towards goal in Rich. And if he can kick number 4, that's a really big game.
He's bobbed up well. Not only has he been a key goal scorer himself, he's bobbed up across that half-forward line to assist a number of players and deliver the ball inside 50.
The vision from Coleman was terrific to set up this man, Corey Rich, who swings it around and hits the post. 3-1 now for him.
It's disposal number 9 as well, so he hasn't been a massive ball winner necessarily, but certainly been a key integral figure inside that forward half of the Seagulls. Foot will go short by Foot. Find his teammate at McGuinness, one of the inclusions today, the Forbaroo. Foot again. Wheels round on the right boot. Kicks it towards half-forward. Dixon in position A. Just camped underneath it. Paulson. Ridden into the ground by Dawson. It spills free. Good tackle there from Bonner. He said been a big accumulator. Gang tackle to the ground is Gray, who was promising early. He's probably faded out of it since quarter time. And we'll have another ball up. About 57 out from the Southport goal. 52-point margin. Score has doubled. As far as Williamstown on Southport, Crosley gave a bit of a bump behind the play, and I think it'll be downfield as a result.
Yeah, frustration starting to show for the Sharks.
Gadsby to be the beneficiary. He's got Ellison short. Pretty spacious forward line if they can get it down there quickly enough. Fordham has moved towards centre half forward as a bit of a key option. Gadsby down the line. Looks towards Ellison. Petrich in for the side. Ellison tries to juggle it to his advantage. Falls out to Cobway. Well wrapped up by Crosley. Cobway just got the hand pass away in the nick of time. Manteed in close quarters to Willis. Now Heron. Foot. Back to Crosley. Slams it on the boot. Kicks it high. Dixon again underneath it is outnumbered. Just getting numbers to the contest. Parks takes the mark for Williamstown. He can repel off halfback.
And they're going to go the most direct route possible. O'Dwyer. Paulson. Skipping forward of the ball is Triffett. Has a couple of handball options. One of them is Greiser. Clever tap, but it's taken away by the Sharks, and now they can go forward with some purpose. Shannon to the one-on-one inside 50. Well done, though, the Williamstown defence. That was Fitzgerald. And Parks gets it to Stoddart. In fact, that's Minton Connell, who's got Collier Dawkins. So the hyphens combining for Williamstown. Collier Dawkins has been one of their very best. High and long to the contest. Petrich misread it in flight, and Spencer. In fact, Willis is able to take the mark. Dangerous ball, almost cut off by Triffett. Foot was good though. Took possession, took a bounce, puts it to the top of the square. Dixon can shepherd.
Oh.
And that's another one, 2 in a row for the Sharks.
Good shepherding there from Dixon. Just using his big frame to allow that one to bounce through. So consolation goal there for Southport. Kicked a couple in this last quarter, but as the old saying goes, too little too late. But certainly more than anything else, they want to add some respectability and finish off the game reasonably soundly. It's no good for your confidence when you get absolutely blown out of the water late and it turns into a 60 to 70 point margin. At the moment it's 46. 16-8 to 8-10. As we're just about set to resume hostilities. Lovely conditions for footy today. There's a bit of a breeze blowing across the ground, but nothing significant. Crossley wins it down. Here's Dawson with the clearance for the Sharks. Kicks it long inside the 50. Fitzgerald in the one-on-one. Takes a good mark. Feeds it off. Oh, a little bit too quick in the end. Fitzgerald will give it back to Paulson, who went without it initially. Goes short to Fordham, who takes it on the slide effectively, or at least on the dive. Goes short to Paulson. Now Brown. Dropped it, but had time to regather it. Just not enough tackling pressure. Banks-Smith did well to affect the kick. Jepson in front, couldn't take the mark. Here's Rich again. Hand pass intercepted. Joyce loops it over the top. Now an opportunity for Edwards. Can the Sharks add a couple of goals here late in the game? Went through the hands there of the intended target in Bowman, who's gone up forward. Coleman accepts the pass from Greiser. In fact, it was Bonner who initially got the kick. Coleman short. Now Gadsby. Next to go, short to Triffett. He's got Rich on the run. He'll use him. Rich takes it and can go. 48 metres out. Caresses it towards goal. Willis did well, and Williams also getting back to float in to punch it through for a behind. It was Willis who affected the chase, and Williams with the conceded behind. So 57-point margin, make that 47 points. 16-9 to 8-10, around the halfway mark of this last quarter.
McGuinness sends it long and wide. Dixon one-on-one was held. Quiet day for Dixon. He's worked hard, worked up the ground to get his kicks, but they've defended him really well, mostly with Parks.
Double teaming, yep.
Williams now looking for Bowman. Handball option is Lake, who's got pace, and centering kick is good. Finds Keegan Gray.
We said he was prominent enough as a forward option early, wasn't he, in the first quarter? Got into the play, just has gone out of it since quarter time. Yeah, good opportunity for him here. Should nail it from a very slight angle.
One of those difficult days for a small forward. And Keegan Gray has hung it out to the right. Margin back to 46.
So it'll be Greiser to bring it back into play. Williamstown with their first home game of the season. They've treated their fans well to a bit of a spectacle today in their free-flowing ball movement. Greiser goes long to the outer side. Big fly at the back came from Dixon, as we said, has covered a lot of territory. Manteek got the hand pass away. Philpott in close quarters got it out. Kick towards Rich. Couldn't quite take it. And it tumbles over the boundary line. Yeah, they're a very loyal lot, aren't they, the Williamstown supporters? Yep. One of the great traditional clubs from the old VFA. They've held on to a pretty good supporter base. It's sort of gentrified this area over the journey, which I think has helped the club to a degree. I know there's that tradition there, but they found a little bit of a new audience as well with their supporter base. This is Joyce on the left foot. But a key ball winner for the Sharks today, Dixon. He paid the mark on the juggle. Chance here for the Sharks. Dixon from 65 metres out. Launches one to the goal square. And it falls over the head through for a behind. He did all the body work there, Riley Bowman at full forward. Just couldn't quite lurch his hands to it. It's a 45-point margin.
Yeah, thought it was going through for a goal, but not quite in the end. Bonner to Stoddart. One of their best ball users off half-back. Made the move across the bay in the off-season alongside Will Fordham from Frankston. Ellison able to hang on to that one.
Well, he hasn't been overly prominent today, but that's a good sign for Williamstown. It just goes to show they've got a lot of goal-scoring options in the midfield as well as up forward. They haven't relied on one or two players today.
Yep, came into today with 4 goals in the opening 2 games. Hasn't hit the score sheet today. Banks-Smith through the corridor. Jepson has been one of Southport's best. Now Gray. Former Werribee man. Hangs it out wide for Manteet, who took a mark under immense pressure from Toner. And he sends it wide. Loading up and missing to the near side was Foot.
So they've peppered it a little bit the last 5 to 10 minutes, haven't they, Southport? Just haven't been able to execute efficiently on the scoreboard. It's reflected in the scoreboard as well in terms of accuracy. 16-9 to 8-13. Seagulls again to the outer side. Downey couldn't take the mark. Manteet gives it off to Willis. Loops the hand pass over the top. Foot inside 50. Quick kick is okay, and Gray has taken the mark. Probably worth noting Boyd Woodcock. Remember, he was limping a little bit in that third quarter. Haven't really seen him since. Of course, a key player for Southport. In the meantime, Gray will line up for a consolation goal. 49 metres out, hangs it out to the right. Is it going to swing back enough? Hasn't quite got the carry. It's off hands and through for another behind. So 16-9 to 8-14.
Can see a Southport player on the bench with crutches.
I think it might be him.
It looks like Boyd Woodcock, but I can't quite tell for sure. He's on the second row of the interchange bench. So they've got a couple of injury concerns already early in the season, Southport. And Boyd Woodcock would just add to that if it is in fact him, but we haven't seen much of him since early in the third term, so it may well be, but...
Well, he landed very awkwardly in the third quarter in a contest. He was clutching at his leg.
Southport are going to go to 1 and 2. They split their first 2 games at Funkhauser Reserve, and in their first road trip of the season, they've fallen well short of the Towners. They've got Essendon at the Hangar next week, Southport. Williamstown will play Footscray at this venue. Petrich spoiled away by Spencer. They've got a couple of home games. 3 of the next 4 games are at home, Williamstown, so they can continue an excellent start to the season. They'll be 3-0 after today.
It is a genuine home ground advantage as well, purely because of the uniqueness of it and the conditions and everything else, particularly as we head towards the wintry months.
It certainly is. So they'll be favoured in most of their games at this venue, and any away wins they can score will make things easier for them, as they'll be pushing for top 4 most likely. That'll be the goal anyway. Lockett driven into the turf by Fitzgerald. Needs to get rid of it. Umpire is lenient. And for the Sharks, 3 of their next 4 are in Queensland. But next week it's Essendon at the Hangar for them. Dixon onto the loose ball, hits the post.
They've had their fair share of chances in the last 5 to 10 minutes. 16-9 to 8-15. Yeah, Williamstown, will be interesting to see how they go as the season progresses. Obviously, they were so close to a premiership in 2019, that famous grand final against Richmond where it went down to the wire. Then we had COVID, and obviously, for obvious reasons, a number of the standalone clubs struggled in that first full season after COVID in 2022. Yep. Williamstown were one of those, but they really did hit back hard last season. So they established a bit of stability. This is McGuinness. Traverses laterally. Jepson has been one of the better players for Southport today. Drives it inside the 50. Big sport. The back came from O'Dwyer. It lands towards Foot, who just got the kick away as he was slung to the ground. And it's gone out on the full. So it'll be a free kick to Greiser. Deep inside the defensive zone for the Seagulls. Foot was dragged to the ground there by Stoddart. He just gets up a little bit gingerly, just feeling his wrist actually. Keep an eye on that. Kick by Greiser towards centre wing. Dowdy really does stand out, doesn't he, with his tall frame. 2 metres tall. Couldn't take the mark that time. Stoddart in the contest again. Holding the ball. It was almost a 360 tackle, wasn't it, in that situation? So can the Sharks end on a high here? Kick inside 50. Sport the back came from Parks with conviction. Hand pass intercepted. Big chance here for Edwards. Kick towards goal. Starts it right, and again it stays out there. Another behind for the Sharks. 16-9 to 8-16. That margin still 41 points. It could have been a lot closer had they nailed a few chances in the last 5 to 10 minutes.
2 goals apiece in this final term. That third term really stands out as the difference between these two sides. It was an 8-0 quarter for Williamstown. As they go forward, Rich one-on-one with Williams. The ladder lost his feet. Rich has got 3 goals already. He can run it in as far as he likes. Closes to 35. It'll be all about the bounce. And he doesn't quite get the one he needed. 3 goals, 2 now for Corey Rich. He's making his return to Smithy's VFL footy after spending last year with old Halebry and the Ammos.
And those 2 behinds could have easily been goals as well. Just getting the wrong bounce on that occasion. O'Dwyer with a good spoil. Chance at the back for Parks. Paddles it to his advantage. Oh, just bounced away from him in the end. Foot can take advantage. Can he capitalise with a goal? No, it's hit the post. Another behind for the Sharks. 16-10 to 8-17. Whistle's been blown. And I think it's going to have to come back. I think Greiser has to kick before the goal umpire goes with the motion of calling a behind. Again, 41 points the margin. Greiser buys another 10 metres. Kicks long towards centre wing. Sport away from Downey. Hand pass comes out. Brown. They combine well on the outer side. This is the other Brown, of course, of the Jack variety, who's kicked a couple of goals today. Triffett just got the hand pass away in time. Back it comes to Jack Brown. Kick towards centre half forward. Bounces a bit awkwardly for Philpott. Can he gather it? Goes off the ground. Fordham confronted. And confronted high, according to the umpire. And the former Dolphin, Will Fordham, could go back and shoot from about 43 metres out, almost directly in front.
Hasn't hit the score sheet yet today, Fordham, but he's part of that formidable midfield group. The 19 disposals for him today. This will be number 20.
Very good in and under.
Yep.
Certainly inserting his physical presence. That's the beauty of him as a midfielder. He can play inside and outside as a good ball user. Coming up for position number 20, Fordham. Close to the man on the mark. 43 metres out. Hoists it high and hoists it straight. There's that cherry on top of the cake. He's got his first. And Williamstown celebrate. The margin now out to 47 points as we creep ever closer to that final siren.
25 and a half minutes in. Zach Foote is actually the leading ball winner on the ground now, equal with Heron. He's got 24 disposals and 1 goal 4. So he's had plenty of opportunities at the sticks.
Particularly in the last quarter.
Yeah, some of them difficult, but 1 goal 4 doesn't look great next to your name, but he's kept trying even as the scoreboard has ticked further and further in Williamstown's favour. Heron's been good as well. Bonner's got 22 for the Seagulls. Collier, Dawkins, Fordham and O'Dwyer each have 20 as Heron just misses out on another disposal with a fresh airy. Bonner uses the body well. That's been a real feature of his game today. Triffett sidestep. Greiser a sitting duck, but able to get boot to ball just in time. And Greiser, I should say Gadsby, takes a strong mark. Kicked an excellent goal in that third term.
Kicked a crucial one in the second. Remember when they were 2 goals down, Williamstown, and the momentum was against them?
Yeah, one of 7 multiple goal kickers for the goals today as Crosley intercepts. Kicked 3 goals in the first half. As they go inside 50, the Sharks. Shallow entry is marked by Derrington. And he might just shape up to have a crack.
And one of the inclusions today in the Southport lineup hasn't had a multitude of possessions, but will be relishing this opportunity, obviously, at VFL level. The Gold Coast Suns Academy signing.
Yep, just 19 years old. Plays his local footy with the Labrador Footy Club up on the Gold Coast, and that's going to fall short. Touched on the goal line.
Seen a number of players in recent times recruited out of that Gold Coast Suns Academy. The Giants as well, but Jeb Walters probably the big name in recent times that's been drafted high up from the Gold Coast Academy. A local boy is a key forward, and really with his physical attributes, if he could develop his game, he's a good kick of the footy. Absolutely. He could be a beauty.
Absolutely.
Speaking of beauties, O'Dwyer's been a beauty today. Kicks towards centre wing. Ellison couldn't take the mark. Dawson feeds it out. He's been key try for Southport today. Kicked by McGuinness inside the 50. Over the head of Bowman, who just misjudged it in flight. Collier Dawkins has been good, particularly in the second half. Paulson, they combine well. Brown, Conway will get it back with the 1-2. Through the corridor they traverse. Brown, hand pass smothered. Ricochets back. It'll end up with Conway after all of that. Kicks towards half forward. Sport the back okay from Spencer. Good follow-up from Petrich. It was good late in the second term. Good tackle from Petrich there on Willis, who can't break through. And we'll have a ball up. It's a very vocal Williamstown crowd. The margin 46 points. We're crossing almost that 28.5-minute mark in the last quarter.
They'll be very happy with what they've seen today. This Williamstown crowd, a good one in today. Plenty of people in for the first game, the first home game of the season for Williamstown, as they make a big statement over a fellow standalone finals competitor. They take it by 46 points, 17-10, 112 to 8-18, 66, and 8-0 to none. Third term was the catalyst